Hi, it's Professor Monty. We're talking about dividing rational expressions. So remember, a rational expression is just a fraction. So we're going back to our fraction rules. If I divide a fraction, A over B divided by C over D, I just change that to multiplication, flip over the one on the opposite side or the right side of the division sign, and then I'm just going to multiply straight across. So remember, to divide, we're going to invert and multiply. In other words, division is multiplication by the reciprocal. So let's look at a couple examples. We have 3 over x divided by x over 5. I can change that to multiplication as 3 over x times 5 over x. And now remember, to multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across. So 3 times 5 is 15, x times x is x squared, and that's it. If I could reduce, I'm going to reduce after I invert the second one, flip it over, find the reciprocal. And then at this point, like we do in multiplication, I may reduce and then multiply across. I will link the multiplying rational expressions. I'll link that at the end of this video. Okay, so here's a division problem with lots of things we have to factor first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor, and then I'm going to flip things over. And then I'm going to reduce and multiply. So the 2 over x plus 8 becomes 2 times x plus 4. I can factor 6 out here. It's 6 times x minus 2. And then for lack of space, I'm going to do these both at the same time. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to factor. So, for instance, this x plus 4 on the top goes to the bottom. This one I'm going to factor and put on top. So I've flipped it over because I've changed division to multiplication. I'm going to factor this. 2 numbers are multiplied to 6, add to negative 5. Well, it's got to be negative 3 times negative 2. So x minus 3, x minus 2. So now I've got that. Multiplies to 6, adds to negative 5. Now before I multiply across, I'm going to cancel any like factor on the top and like factor on the bottom. Well, I know 2 goes in there once, goes in there 3 times. The x minus 2 is just canceled to a 1, so they kind of disappear. The x plus 4 is canceled to a 1, they disappear. So on the top, I have x minus 3. On the bottom, I just have a 3. And that's my answer. Remember, I can't cancel the 3's because this one's called a term. Things that are added or subtracted are terms. I can only cancel factors, things that are being multiplied by the rest of the stuff that's there. So anyway, that's my answer. That's the idea. So division is really one step away from multiplication. We just flip over the second one, then multiply straight across. But if we have things that we're going to be able to reduce, once I flip, I'm going to cancel and then multiply straight across.